Hello, I am Rabbi Moishe Steigmann, and I am the Director of Jewish Life and Learning and Rav Beit HaSefer School Rabbi at the Milwaukee Jewish Day School, and I am thrilled and honored to be sharing a moment of Torah with you this week. Our Torah portion, Vayishlach, opens with Jacob preparing to see his brother Esau. Of course, he hasn't seen his brother Esau in 20 years after having lived with his uncle Lavan. Esau was planning to kill Jacob after Jacob had stolen the blessing from him. And now 20 years later, he's planning to reunite. So Jacob sends a messenger forward to greet his brother Esau. And as part of that message, Jacob has the messenger say on his behalf, Im Lavan Garti. I lived with Lavan. Now Rashi, the preeminent biblical commentator, Rashi notes that the gematria of the word Garti is very telling. Gematria is the Hebrew structure where we assign a numerical value to every Hebrew letter. For instance, Aleph would be 1, Bet would be 2, Gimel would be 3, all the way to the final letter of the Hebrew alphabet, Tav, which would be 400. So if we add up the word Garti, and add with me at home, Gimel is 3, Resh is 200, Tav is 400, and Yud is 10. So 3 plus 200 plus 400 plus 10 gives us a very important number in Judaism, 613. In fact, if we anagram the word Garti, we get to Taryag, which is the reference for the number of mitzvot, 613. Rashi notes that Jacob uses the word Garti in reference to his stay with Lavan. So he asks why. One reason is because the word lagur in biblical times connotes a temporary dwelling. And even though Jacob was there for 20 years, he never intended for this to be his permanent home. Rashi adds, though, that Garti, being an anagram of Taryag of 613, shows that even while Jacob was far away from home, far from his culture, from his identity, he was still able to retain his Jewish vision. He was still able to live a life as a Jew, to continue to observe the mitzvot, even in a place that was foreign to him. This is a lesson of which we'll be reminded in just 8 short days, when we light the first Hanukkah candle. Here the Maccabees too had to fight to retain their values, their beliefs, their tradition, and their heritage. When I think of us, most of us are here living in the United States who are watching this video. If you're elsewhere, hello, thank you for watching. But most of us are here in the United States, and for most of us this is not a temporary sojourn. We're not lagur, we are not living here in the same way that Jacob was dwelling temporarily with his uncle. Yet we face that same question, that same conundrum. How do we live our lives meaningfully as Jews? How do we continue to express our Jewish identity in a world that doesn't live a Jewish life? So I'll give you a couple of suggestions. If you're watching this YouTube video, you're already doing one thing. You're studying Torah. And that's probably the most important way to retain our identity. So please keep learning, keep studying Torah. I also imagine that most of us watching this video are going to light Hanukkah candles, beginning again in just over a week. That's another beautiful way to retain our traditions and our customs. And this then becomes my hope and my bracha for all of us, not only for this Shabbat, but for this Hanukkah season. May we be inspired by Jacob. May we be inspired by the Maccabees, who had to fight to continue to keep their tradition alive. And may their inspiration guide us in living a meaningful Jewish life every single day, finding some way to express our Jewish identity every single day. And in doing so, may that enrich not only our lives, but the lives of our family, our children, and everyone around us. Shabbat Shalom.